Please show me 5 fingers, and as I list down my question, fold in each finger if you relate to any of these. Have you ever felt anxious before an exam? Or scared before going out on stage? Then, have you been overcome with fear so big you felt like it was crushing you? Or perhaps you felt like clawing your throat, desperate to breathe. Or maybe there was a moment in life where you just want the ground to swallow you up because of the environment you were in. Assalamualaikum and greetings to everybody. My name is Nur Suraya and I have anxiety. It might seem strange to introduce myself like this, but just for today, I would like to be transparent during my speech. For the past few years, I have done research on anxiety to better educate myself, and now I often share my knowledge with others. Remember the questions I asked in the beginning of my speech? Well, if you put down more than 3 fingers, then you might have something called anxiety. Some of you might have heard of the term anxiety, and maybe for some, anxiety sounds very foreign to your ears. The definition provided by Google is that anxiety is the feeling of fear, dread, and uneasiness. Today, I would like to share with you some insights on the big picture to anxiety. Society perceives anxiety as a fickle emotion one has when in tough situations. However, anxiety goes beyond just the feeling of fear or worrisome. Anxiety is a disorder that varies from generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, and social anxiety disorder. I'll start off with the most familiar type of anxiety, which is generalized anxiety disorder. As the name suggests, this particular anxiety is the feeling of fear or worrisome about general everyday things. Feeling anxious is second nature to someone with generalized anxiety disorder. This is because anxiety takes root in their body, where it plants a seed of worry in them that gradually grows bigger. They are sick with worry about the possibilities of future matters or even situations beyond their control. Imagine a half-full cup of water in your hand. The cup and water signify the life matters around you. A person with generalized anxiety disorder can't help themselves but pour more water into the cup until it overflows. The act of worrying comes naturally and unintentionally for them. Hence, they are constantly crushed by the feeling of dread and worrisome. To some extent, anxiousness can also interfere with a person's daily activity. For example, students often feel overwhelmed by anxiety when they have too much on their plate. Deadlines and exams start to feel suffocating for some. For an individual with generalized anxiety disorder, they would not be able to function like normal and go about their day due to their intense worry. I often describe it as drowning in distress, but not being able to break through the surface. Accordingly, these individuals would think that it would be best to keep to themselves. Being surrounded by their own anxiety-induced thoughts is hard enough. Imagine how wild their worry and fear runs when they are in the presence of other people. Thus, they choose to keep a distance from friends and family to maintain their anxiousness and avoid any situations where their fear can get the best of them. Next, I'll move on to panic disorder. This disorder is considered more intense on the anxiety scale. True to its name, someone with panic disorder experiences sudden episodes of intense fear and panic. They are extremely sensitive to anxiety-induced surroundings and thoughts. For some, certain things or situations could trigger their panic, such as ongoing chronic stress, acute stress, and sudden changes in their environments. However, according to Baker's research regarding panic disorders, there are also people who can experience sudden intense fear while in harmless and supposedly stress-free situations. These panic episodes are both foreseeable and unpredictable at the same time. Furthermore, those diagnosed with panic disorder encounters frequent and unexpected panic attacks. A panic attack can feel like the initiation of a person's flight or fight response, even though there are no clear signs of danger. While some diagnosis states that panic attacks could also feel like having a heart attack. Although panic attacks are not life-threatening, they are still frightening and can easily affect a person's quality of life. Moreover, panic disorder drains a person due to its unexpected panic attacks that includes physical symptoms. This is because panic attacks have many variations, yet their symptoms can reach the highest intensity within minutes. Excessive sweating, nausea, and feeling lightheaded are the early signs of a panic attack. During a panic attack, a person can experience trembling in their arms, shortness of breath, and chest pains. After an episode, the attack would have worn them out and leave them fatigued for a while. Finally, we have social anxiety disorder, which is the persistent fear of social situations while anticipating bad scenarios. Some might think that social anxiety disorder is simply just shyness, but in truth, it is more than that. According to an article written by Nasser Al-Omari, a person with social anxiety faces intense fear of being watched or judged in social settings. They strongly feel that there are dozens of eyes glued to them and that the whispers in the air are about them. Therefore, they have the burning urge to flee from uncomfortable environments. Sadly, these thoughts are uncontrollable for them. Additionally, social anxiety obstructs a person's daily life. They have difficulty speaking with others and participating in activities. Even though they have potential to shine in the world due to their talent or skills, but with social anxiety, that might be an impossible task. As a result, social anxiety hinders their personal growth and negatively impacts their ability to cultivate meaningful relationships, limiting both career progression and their quality of life. Naturally, someone with social anxiety disorder will want to avoid socializing as much as they can. Speaking from experience, I had difficulty speaking in public to the point where my hands get shaky and I felt breathless. In the past, I often declined any invitations from friends to hang out, and the byproduct was that I became an outcast. For someone with social anxiety, our solitude is our safest space in the world, even if it meant missing out on possible experiences. By the end of this speech, some of you might find anxiety to be a minor problem or that I might have over-exaggerated the whole thing. In truth, this is what anxiety feels like. It does seem odd at first, but it is important to approach the topic with compassion in your heart. In short, anxiety can't be explained using just the word fear, because now you know that there is a bigger picture to anxiety, along with different variations. For my audience members who related to my speech about anxiety, I hope you know that you're not alone facing this problem. And for the rest, I encourage you to educate yourself on the topic to gain more understanding. Who knows, maybe you have a loved one suffering through this disorder silently. With the right knowledge, you might just be able to help them. I have come far from my younger days where I suffered anxiety alone. At 17, I decided to take back the reins to my life and not let anxiety control me. A huge milestone that I'm proud to share of is that I have fallen in love with performing for others, even though I still do it in fear. In brief, don't let anxiety trap you from endless possibilities, because I am proof that it doesn't. Thank you for lending me your attention. I hope my speech was able to open your heart to accept anxiety's big picture.